Hi, Shay here. I'm here with the fifth and final round of my first league that I've recorded. Currently 2-2. I have a win against Earl Pile, a win against Grixis, Death Shadow, a loss against Ad Nauseam, and a loss against Hammer, or Hammer Time. Unfortunately, the two losses, as I've looked back over the videos, it didn't leave me with much to learn from, or a certain mistake or play that I can say was a defining moment in the game where I could have done something differently to change it around and made a win out of it. So it kind of is what it is. I maybe could have done something different with my build, had some different interactive cards that could have helped me out in those matches. But here we are with a 2-2 record, and I'm really hoping to make it 3-2 so that I can feel like I at least kind of wound up on top of this and maybe made it worth my while. I hope everybody's been enjoying the videos. I'm thinking next I'm probably going to watch or do a user or viewer submitted deck list. I've been currently looking at some lists that people have been sharing on the Facebook Living End group as well as the Discord Living End group. Comment in my YouTube channel here if you have a deck list. Maybe share a link to it, and who knows, maybe I'll play yours. I'm thinking that might be my next league. We'll be doing a viewer submitted deck. After that, I'm thinking of kind of making a build where I put some of the more obscure cards and different cards that are kind of fringe playable in Living End. So things like the Godzilla card, or things like Crashing Footfalls, where we've got that alternative sideboard plan. Just trying out a bunch of those type of cards. I might just try to mash them all in one deck and see how oddball of a deck we can get, and see how it does. Anyways, I'm really hoping for a match that we can win here. I never ask for an easy match, but I like to at least be able to play a game. Those last two matches there made me feel like I just didn't have a hope in hell. There wasn't a thing I could do. So, really praying to make a win out of this one. 2-3 sounds pretty bad. 3-2 sounds, like you did something right. Okay, well, let's get ourselves into a match. Oh boy, okay, here we are. Well, say a prayer for me. If you can't be good, you should at least be lucky. Okay, I think this is a pretty easy keep. We've got 3 land. We've got a turn 1 cycler, a turn 2 cycler, a cascade spell, as well as some interaction. There's not really much more that you can ask for in an opening hand. Fortunately, we didn't win the die roll. But let's get a little information and see what we're up against here. Opponent kept 7. Okay, we draw another Archfiend. It's a little awkward. It's tough to kind of cycle multiples of that card. We're just going to play a land and ship the turn and see what our opponent does here. This, to me, is maybe another one of these Euro decks here. Okay, maybe not. Could be Prowess. Okay. I'm a little hesitant with my life total here. I don't know if what we have to do here to beat a deck like this. I'm not sure if this is Prowess or not. I'm thinking it might be. Or there's been some other Jeskai control type lists. I'm not sure that they play a Fiery Islet. It could be... I've seen some Delver decks coming around. So the question is, do I want to take 3 damage here to cycle a horror? I think I'm going to go for it. You know, it kind of gives them some information and they're a turn ahead of us. It might not be the right play, but I think I want to just kind of do what I can to get this going here. Okay, so I'm probably going to play the fetch land and search for a basic and cycle an Archfiend of Ifnir on their end step, depending on what they do here. Is it Charm? Okay. So they're doing what? Are they looting? A Snapcaster Mage. Wasn't that important to them, I guess. A Spell Snare? Okay, they knew that wasn't very good for them. What happened there? Did this go to my turn here? I'm sorry, I felt like they did that on my end step, but now... Did I miss my turn? Or did I miss their end step there? I didn't think I had clicked through that. Okay, I'm going to search for a basic here. I don't know what is going on. Yeah, so I did. I clicked through their end step. They just played a land and passed turn, and I missed it there. I'm not sure what happened. I don't think I'm going to... pay another 2. It's a little worrisome, especially with these street wraiths. It's just tempting me to kill myself. Okay, I'll pass the turn here. I'm not sure. I must have F6 through their turn or something. I don't know what the hell happened there. Okay, they're chocked full of counterspells here, whatever this deck is. If they're wasting that to draw cards, they just have to be full of counterspells. Okay, well, maybe we'll wait till their end step here. They've got to have a cryptic command or something, or I don't know if I want to. I'm going to pass the turn here. If they do something and tap out, I might try it on my end step. Although they might have force negation anyways, which doesn't really... That's what's frustrating about these decks, is they can Archmage's charm at the end of your turn and tap out, and there's nothing, it doesn't affect them at all because they're still able to counter your spell if you try to react while they're tapped out with Force of Negation. I don't know if I wanted to dig for a land there. So, do I want to try right now? Then they untap. I'm going to wait. Scry 2, then draw a card. If they don't have a counterspell, they will. I just don't want to let them counter with Force of Negation right now and then untap and be able to hold up a different counterspell. I'd rather have them tapped out on the end of their turn with my Violent Outburst, and then for them to pass the turn to me and me to be able to potentially get off a Demonic Dread. So I have the chance here to discard a card. I may as well go for that. Okay, so they're going to go right to end step. I'm going to fire off my Violent Outburst. Now, do I expect it to resolve? Not a chance in hell. But this potentially forces them to tap out, allowing our Demonic Dread to be cast without getting countered on our next turn here. So, Cryptic, Mystic Sanctuary. Okay. And they have an opt as well. Okay, remand, and then they're going to draw that, which means I don't even have, they're going to have mana open on my turn as well. I really have no chance here. So they're going to draw the Archmage's Charm off of the remand. This is horrible. They've really played that well. What can I even do here? Can't. Do I want to attack their mana base? See, it just doesn't really matter. Oh, I can't cast a Demonic Dread anyway, so who am I kidding? So yeah, I'm going to pass the turn on their upkeep. I'm going to hit something here. Probably just a basic. Oh, I shouldn't have passed priority there. I could have maybe cycled my Street Wraith and drawn a Violent Outburst while they were tapped out. Oh, I hate that when you F6 and it's just, you know, I'm not sure what it is, and correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, maybe it's working now. For a while there, this is yield until end step was just kind of grayed out and you couldn't choose it. So now they're allowing me to use it, but of course I didn't use it. Okay. Upkeep. Okay, I'm going to Beast Within Island. I don't think it matters at this point. They're showing me that they've just got everything right now. don't know if I want to cycle this, because if I can draw land, I might want to cast it. Although at this point, with them having 7 cards in their hand, I don't know that it's going to resolve, let alone stick around for much longer than anything. Okay, well, and then we've drawn another living end here, which is really bad for us. Okay, so there's another land. Do I want to just cast something? I might want to cast a Seasoned Pyromancer. I don't know. Do I see it resolving? Do I just want to try Demonic Dread here? 7 cards in hand. My opponent magically doesn't have a counterspell when they've shown me that they are literally playing every version of it. Nah. Let's just throw down a Seasoned Pyromancer. Maybe they take the bait. I only have 1 living end left, so if I'm going to go for it, it's kind of got to be at a better opportunity than this. Doesn't look like they even want to allow this to resolve. Okay. There, I think this is just game. I don't know if there's much point in hanging around here. Cast Remand, draw Remand. Yeah, these decks are just horrible. They just have infinity counterspells, and even if on the odd chance that he did tap out, he's probably got a Force of Negation anyways. They're drawing crazy with the Archmage's Charm, which I don't mind, because it shows me that I might be able to catch them being greedy in the next game with a Ricochet Trap and draw those cards for them. And here they are. Okay, so they're win conditions through the breach here. What are they going to get? Emrakul. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. We are going to have a tough time with this. Oh boy. I hate these matchups. That's the biggest problem with this deck right now, is there's just too much blue going around. It's quite ridiculous, actually. There's too much of it, and it has gotten some serious power boosts lately that, in my opinion, it did not need. Yeah. So I'm going to maybe want... Ricochet Traps are good against their counterspells. The Fairy might be good if they try to get cheeky with a Snapcaster Mage and a counterspell, or what they've been doing here with that land that's been putting the spell on top of their deck, and then they've been drawing it and just kind of cycling their counterspells like that. So those might be good. I'm probably going to bring in a Crozen Grip just for any any graveyard hate that they might have. Now, what am I going to take out? Cut a couple cyclers. The problem is a lot of the stuff I have is just good. I'm going to cut those because they're just a little too costly. They're really good against creature-based decks, but sometimes they're just... I don't need the flying. The ability of the Archfiend doesn't really make it any better than just Desert Ceradon or anything else. I guess this is the the predicament that I find myself in playing Fairy and playing Bloodbraid is that against some of these counterspell decks and stuff, I like having the Bloodbraid. It just allows for a grindier matchup, but I don't know if it warrants cascading into a Fairy. That doesn't appeal to me. I'm going to play it like that, I think. Submit here. We're going to need some luck here. That... this is a fine hand. Knowing what I'm up against, I really want to see a Ricochet trap, though. The sorcery speed of the Demonic Dread I'm not in love with. Other than that, I kind of just got to keep it. So, I've got a feeling we're just going to get wrecked here. Okay, we'll start with that. Okay, they're still waiting for them. Okay, so we're really praying for a Ricochet trap. That is going to be one of our only ways through this. They've shown us that they have more counter spells than we have cyclers in their deck, and it's just kind of, I don't know. I'm actually just kind of tired of these blue decks. Okay, I'm going to get a Blood Crypt. I don't think we're too concerned about our life total. I'm going to cycle. Okay. Well, in typical fashion, they are doing absolutely nothing. Just holding up counter magic for us. Let's cycle. We need to dig for a Ricochet trap. There we go. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to try and slow them. I'm going to move to our turn. I'm going to play a land. I'm going to Beast Within on their upkeep. Then we'll be able to play another land and potentially get through. Well, okay, yes. So we'll give them a creature here, and then we'll potentially be able to get through on our turn with Demonic Dread and a Ricochet trap to back it up. Now hopefully they don't just, yeah, here we go. Hopefully they just float the mana, let it resolve. I was thinking maybe they were going to remand it or something. Okay, this is perfect. This is right where we want to be. Okay. A lot of groves. Okay, Demonic Dread. Target beast within. Cast Living End. What do they got here? Remand. Sure. Cast Ricochet Trap. So the one thing I hate about this is if we target the remand to the Ricochet Trap, the they don't draw a card because the Ricochet Trap resolves first and there is no target. But do we want the Demonic Dread back? That's the question. We might want them to return the Demonic Dread to our hand in case of emergency later. So do we want a card to give them a card, or would we rather not? I'm going to change the target of remand to... I think I'm going to return the Cascade spell. It also helps if they decide to flash in a Snapcaster Mage or something. I mean, I guess they would do it in combat, but just if they have a blocker, it's nice to be able to even just get that blocker out of the way so we can get through with damage. Okay, good. Hopefully no Force of Negation next here. Okay, right on. We'll move to combat here. Can ding in with the Sand Sprinter. Sweet. Okay, if we can pull that off again, we might be able to take this. I really hope we can. I really like shoving it in these blue faces decks. Or in their face, but in the blue decks faces. But it's a frustrating match if you can't quite get there. So, what did we see? We didn't see any graveyard hate. So does that mean I don't really care about Crows and Grip? You know what? I'm going to get a Beast Within and remove that. It's about the same. We still have interaction with Graveyard Hate. But I think being able to hit a land like that, creating a target for our Demonic Dread is pretty important there. Let's run it back. Really riding on the back of Ricochet Trap in these cases here. There's not much else to say. They're going to have a counterspell, almost guaranteed. Okay, that's not a keep, and we really need to see something good here. We'll keep it. No. Do I want the big hitters, or do I want this guy that can potentially have some interaction with different stuff later? I think I just need to get some big dummies in the graveyard for now. I like having this. I'm not in love with the one land, but we've got a draw step, a cycler, another cycler, and a draw step to hopefully hit more land. I don't think I can get rid of the Violent Outburst. I'm going to lose the Sprinter. And cross my fingers here. Hopefully we can make this happen. We're really relying on drawing Ricochet Trap. Okay. really appreciate if they'd remove that upkeep stop they've got here. It's a little frustrating. Great. See, this is always annoying when you draw that. Okay, but we've been kind of lucky so far, so... Play land. Pass the turn. Okay. We're going to fetch for the Blood Crypt. We will pay the 2 life. I'm going to cycle a Ceradon. Pray for land here. Perfect. No point in cycling the Street Wraith quite yet. Move to our turn. It's not horrible. Okay, we're working our way to getting there. We might want to... Well, we definitely need to see another land. We've got a few draws here. We might want to see a beast within. That helps our Demonic Dread. It helps slow them down. We really want to see a Ricochet Trap. I don't know what this means. I don't know how to read this play at all. They're getting aggressive. A relic. Okay. It's not the end of the world. It's tough. We can potentially play around it, although, you know, we really need to draw a land right now, which is making things awkward. Because if we can't draw land and it forces us to cycle to hit our 3rd land drop, we ruin any opportunity we have to restock the graveyard after that they remove our graveyard. Okay, so that was interesting that they decided to go for Snapcaster Mage there. Just to say, you know what, I know you're going to be a little slower here with the relic out. I'm just going to beat down and put pressure on you. Interesting idea. I don't know if it's any good. I'm going to cycle. Actually, I'm not going to cycle the Street Wraith because that I can cycle for free, potentially after they've cracked a relic. I do need to hit a land drop though. Okay. Demonic Dread I can cast, and fortunately they've played the Snapcaster to give me a target. Maybe they crack the relic, and then I can pitch this, get a little bit of get some guys on the board. I wouldn't be opposed to another Street Wraith. I'm going to cast it now. I risk Force of Negation, but I think if I let them untap, I'm in a worse spot. So we'll go for the Demonic Dread right now. Okay. Now, after they crack, we'll cycle the Street Wraith. Okay. Cycle our Street Wraith. Be nice to chain a couple of these together, although our life total might not agree with that. Exile up to 2 cards. Is it worth? I think it is. No targets. Okay. Now hopefully they don't have a Force of Negation here. Okay. So, potentially putting a clock on them here. Now we would love to follow up with something, maybe one of those Seasoned Pyromancers or a Beast Within or a Fulminator Mage or something, just to kind of force them to react, put some pressure on them more than this. Okay, fine with this. Let's get some draws here. Okay, that's not horrible because we can potentially play that next turn. So I will move to combat. Okay. I'm going to... This is tough. I want to play the Blackleaf Cliffs so that next turn I can play the Horror. But we don't have a green mana source right now. I think I'm going to play the Stomping Ground out right now. On the off chance that they try to go off with their Emrakul combo there, we have the Violent Outburst to kind of interfere with that. So we're going a little bit slower route here. I don't know if it's the play, but it just makes me feel a little safer here. Okay. That's awkward. Not my favorite. But who knows? We might cycle that off and... Okay, I think I'm gonna cycle this. We kind of want to hit a land and play the Horror. That's interesting. Let's move to our turn. Another Demonic Dread. Okay. I don't know if I want to cast that Horror. It's actually kind of scares me to tap out against that Emrakul combo. Okay, so they're going to cast the Fairy now. Okay. I might threaten them here with a Violent Outburst. I think I'm going to. Yeah, I don't know if that was right. I just feel like they're gonna beat us here with the race. Basically got to keep the fairy back to block. Okay. Of course, there it is. And of course, I don't have another one of these. I don't think I suspend here. It's just too slow. God, I really wish I maybe shouldn't have shot off that. Should have just took the damage and prayed, I guess. Are they just going to have another one here? Another something to... Okay. Brutal. Shit, I played this so bad. I should not have fired off. Why? Why did I feel like I needed to fire off that violent outburst? Here, I could have fired off the violent outburst. Ricochet trap backup. Cleared that off. I would have even been able to cycle the horror. And that would have just been game. I could have even discarded the fairy to hit the Snapcaster. I am so bad. Oh! Feels bad. Feels so bad. Well, unlike my other matches, I can already look at this one and tell you that I screwed up. It's just one of those things. I don't know why I got so frisky there and decided to fire off that stupid violent outburst, but I had the opportunity. I could have won the game right here if I wouldn't have. I was just worried about my life total and just thinking I can't beat this clock. Silly, silly mistake. Well, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Sorry I wasn't able to do a little bit of a lesson here. Instead, I'm teaching myself something. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, keep your eye out on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be posting some more videos soon of a different league with a different deck. Yeah, well, that really sucked. I'm looking at it now just thinking I had that game if I wouldn't have fired off the violent outburst. I really don't know what I was thinking there. It really just made me feel even worse about it, drawing the ricochet trap on my turn. We definitely could have won that. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.